Well, there are two key issues that the President will be taking up with Prime Minister Abe on the 24th. First, of course, is the regional security issues, cooperation between the Philippines and Japan in addressing the issues in this region, in the West Philippine Sea, and also in the area of Japan in the eastern portion. And then also what's going to be a key agenda item is, of course, the Bangsamoro Peace Agreement, the conference on the consolidation of peace in Mindanao. It's an important aspect. I think it's a key program of President Aquino's policy to bring lasting peace, lasting and durable peace in Mindanao. This conference is important because it will address the issues that need to ensure that the peace agreement will be long-lasting and durable. And Japan plays an important role in ensuring that takes place in terms of development assistance, training of people in Mindanao on good governance, transparency, and the fundamental principles that President Aquino has been espousing for the duration of his presidency. It's a component of the foreign policy of the President, with the advice and support of the Department of Foreign Affairs in addressing the West Philippine Sea issue, to raise the capacity and level of awareness of the Philippines and the Filipinos for maritime domain awareness. That means that the Filipino people and the institutions that help them ensure that they have sovereignty and jurisdiction over their maritime entitlements these rights are effectively implemented in accordance with international law, especially the 1982 Convention, United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. Japan supports the Philippines' policy to raise our capacity and level of awareness for maritime domain capacity to monitor. For that purpose, the Japanese government has supported the Philippine government in terms of assistance to provide the Philippine Coast Guard with 10 patrol crafts. There are 40 meters, what's called the multi-response vehicle, vessel, for purposes of increasing the capabilities of the Coast Guard to monitor the maritime domain, the exclusive economic zone, and effectively enforce Philippine laws within that maritime zone. So Japan has provided technical assistance as well as the means in order to deliver 10 multi-role response vehicles, or MRRVs, to the Philippine Coast Guard. It is envisioned that through the assistance and support of the Department of Transportation and Communications, of which the Coast Guard is under the DOTC, we envision to see at least 3 of those patrol vessels delivered by next year, and the remaining 7 to be delivered by early part of 2016. Now, in addition to the patrol crafts, Japan is also providing assistance for the telecommunication system, because you may have the platform or the vessels, but you need the communication system in order to ensure that the vessel is able to communicate with the command and control office in the Coast Guard. So Japan is providing the technical and the human resource support for the implementation and realization of President Aquino's policy of maritime domain awareness. Now, aside from that, there are also other assistance by Japan, like continuous training for the Philippine Coast Guard on maritime security and maritime environment protection, safety of navigation, all aspects that will strengthen the capacity of the Philippines and its implementing agency to enforce its sovereign right and jurisdiction over its maritime entitlement under international law. First of all, the ambassador and the embassy has reiterated its appreciation to Japan, especially for its assistance to the victims of Typhoon Yolanda in Leyte and Samar. Now, the assistance came not only from the Japanese government, but also from private citizens of Japan. They have made private contributions to the efforts of the Philippines to assist the victims of the typhoon. In terms of the assistance or cooperation by the Philippines to Japan, well, we all know that the key factor or the main what we call the endowment of the Philippines is the skills of its Filipino workers. And so here in Japan, we have skilled workers, caregivers and nurses who undergo training and language training, skills training, in order to meet the standards of Japan for caregiving and for nursing. And so we are providing, contributing at least to the manpower needs of Japan in the light of the current demographic situation or circumstance in Japan. Of course, the investment relations between the Philippines and Japan is very productive, and I think our trade attaché will give you an overall picture in detail. Tourism also. Japan, as you very well know, has relaxed the visa requirements for Filipinos. They have adopted a policy of no visa under certain arrangements, right? So Filipinos who intend to tour Japan will be able to arrange their travel through the listed travel agencies, of which the visas will be provided. So it has relaxed the visa requirements. Overall, it opens up the interaction between the Filipinos and Japanese. With the relaxation of these travel requirements, then both nationalities will be able to interact. In fact, contributing to this effort is that there are 10 flights a day of airline companies from the Philippines to Japan and vice versa. So these infrastructure and policies will enable the Philippine government to further enhance improve the bilateral relations between the two countries. And that is one point that the President will be discussing with the Prime Minister, which is opportunities for further enhancement of bilateral relations, aside, of course, from the regional issues that will form part of the main agenda items for the summit between the President and Prime Minister Abe. The Philippines and Japan have established arrangements whereby key agencies will be able to conduct dialogue on a regular basis. And so we have the joint bilateral meeting that is on the political level. The undersecretaries of foreign ministries of the two countries, they have an annual consultation to review the overall bilateral relations. Aside from that, you have a dialogue, regular dialogue between the Ministry of Defense of Japan and the Department of National Defense of the Philippines. The Secretary of Defense and the Minister of Defense, they hold regular consultations discussing regional issues and how both countries can contribute to the enhancement of regional peace. This dialogue is an opportunity for the security officials to ensure how they can help each other in contributing to regional peace, as well as efforts to address other security concerns, not only in this region, but also in other parts of the world. We may recall that the Philippines and Japan have provided support for the global effort to combat piracy in the in the coast of Somalia. So Japan has provided its Coast Guard support for the Combined Maritime Force, and the Philippines has also provided its support by way of its liaison officer in CMF, the Combined Maritime Force. So within the capabilities of both countries, we provide assistance for the objective of both countries to contribute to the global effort of maintaining regional peace and global security. We are grateful for Japan for supporting the fundamental principle by which the Philippines is addressing the West Philippine Sea issue. Nagpapasalamat nga kami sa Japan kay Prime Minister Abe dahil sa pagsuporta niya sa patakaran ng ating pamahalaan tungkol dito sa sigalot sa West Philippine Sea. Ano po yan? Ang prinsipyo po natin ay kailangan po natin hanapan ng solusyon itong issue na to sa West Philippine Sea sa pamamagitan ng tinatawag nating rules-based approach under international law. Nung ginawa po natin ang ating arbitration, nag-submit po tayo ng kaso sa arbitral panel sa ilalim po ng UNCLOS, sinuportahan po tayo ng Japan. Ang sabi po nila, tama po yan dahil yan po ay isang ayon sa rules-based approach at sa base po ng international law. Kaya po, ang pananaw ng Japan at ng Pilipinas ay magkatugma na tayo ay gusto natin hanapan ng solusyon ang pagkakaibang pananaw ng bansa sa pamamagitan ng proseso na nasa international law. Ano po yan? Yan po yung proseso na sinasabi ho sa UN Charter. Sa UN Charter po sinasabi na kailangan po there must be a peaceful resolution of the dispute under the various systems provided under international law of the UN Charter. Ano po yan? Dapat isangguni po ang problema. Mamili po tayo, maaari po sa International Court of Justice, International Tribunal for the Law of the Sea, arbitration, negotiation. Basta't matahimik na paraan. Hindi ho paggamit ng dahas o lakas militar o kundi ho yung mga intimidation, hindi po yun ang tama. Hindi po yun ang tamang proseso. Kaya po, ang Japan sumasang-ayon po sa ginagawa natin. Sana po sa pagtulong ng Japan, mainggayi po natin ang ibang bansa na maintindihan nila na tayong Pilipinas, kasama po ang Japan, ayaw po natin ng isang di maayos na pagresolba nitong ng usapin ng Pilipinas at China. Ganon din ang Japan at China. Maari po natin pag-usapan to, pero kailangan po pumasok po tayo sa usapan na base sa batas sa pandaigdig or international law. Ano pong basehan yan? Nandiyan po yung UN Convention of the Law of the Sea. Ang Pilipinas, Japan at China ay pumirma po sila sa UNCLOS at may obligasyon po ang bawat bansa na pumirma ho sa UNCLOS na tuparin ang kanilang obligasyon at tungkulin dito sa usaping ito sa pamamagitan na tinatawag na good faith, no? Good faith at peaceful resolution of disputes. Kaya mahalaga po ang relasyon ng Pilipinas at Japan tungkol po sa ginagawa po nating paraan para ho mabigyan po natin ng matagalan na solusyon para dito sa issue with China. So what we're looking for really is a durable and lasting solution on the basis of rule of law and international law. Kasi po, ang issue nito, pag peaceful resolution of dispute, kailangan po usapan. Pero hindi lang po usapan maski na saan ang direksyon. Kailangan magbigay ng isang basihan na lahat ho susunod. At atin po sinasabi, Japan at Pilipinas, kami po ay sumasang-ayon na bigyan to ng matahimik na solusyon, pero dito lang po sa prinsipyo to, rules-based approach. Hindi yung kanya-kanyang sasabihin mo, itong gusto namin, sumunod kayo, basta sumunod kayo, hindi po pwede yung ganon. We all know that JICA is providing both assistance for human resource development and infrastructure development. Alam po ng ating mga kababayan na JICA po nagbigay ng pag-aaral, no? Tungkol ho paano natin aayusin at babaguhin ang ating sistema ng transportasyon. Pati na rin po ang kanilang suwestyon o rekomendasyon kung saan ho dapat nararapat gawin ng panibagong airport ng Pilipinas. In that manner, the JICA has provided the direction, the pathway for the Philippines to see how we can further improve our infrastructure, both in terms of land transport and in air transport. So JICA has provided that input, that insight. Now it's up for the Philippine government to consider the study and its applicability in terms of the long-term plan of the government. So JICA continues to provide that assistance on behalf of the Japanese government, and we value that partnership and their support for the development of the Philippines. Una po, gusto po namin ibahagi sa ating mga kababayan na ang relasyon po ng Pilipinas at Japan ay napakalakas at mataas po ang uri ng ating bilateral relations. Ang ating kooperasyon ay base po sa malakas na pagsasama tungkol ho sa paghanap ng solusyon sa mga suliranin at saka mga usapin sa ating rehiyon sa West Philippine Sea. Pati na rin po ang hinaharap ng Japan sa kanilang lugar dito ho sa Pacific. Ang usapin po ng dalawang bansa sa isyong politikal ay malaki po ang naidudulot sa katahimikan at pagbabago sa Pilipinas. Nandiyan po ang tulong ng Japan tungkol dito sa para maging maayos po ang Bangsamoro Peace Agreement. Yan po ang isa sa mga layunin ng pagbisita ng Presidente dito sa Hiroshima para ho siguraduhin na ang Bangsamoro Peace Agreement ay matupad po sa termino ng ating Pangulo. At ang Japan po ay nagbibigay ng lahat ng tulong para yan po ay maisakatuparan. Kasi po ang patakaran po ng Japan ay tumulong ho sa pagpalaganap ng katahimikan sa rehiyon. Support for peace endeavors is one of the key foreign policies of Japan. At kaya po ang ating Pangulo ay dudulog sa Consolidation for Peace on the Bangsamoro Peace Agreement para ho ipagsama ang lahat ng mga kakayahan at mga tauhan natin para maisiguro natin na maibabalik natin ang katahimikan sa Mindanao to achieve a durable and lasting peace for the areas in southern Philippines. Iyan po ang mahalagang layunin ng ating pamahalaan ni Pangulong Benigno Aquino at ng embassy ho ng Pilipinas sa Tokyo, na tayo po ay sumusuporta sa layunin at patakaran ng ating pamahalaan para po dito sa ating Bangsamoro Peace Agreement.